You've been lied to about conversations. They told you it's about confidence, about charisma, about saying the right words at the right time. Wrong. It's about control. Silent, invisible control that decides who bends, who breaks, and who walks away crowned. In this video, I'm going to reveal 4 psychological tricks that dismantle every rule you thought you knew about human interaction. You'll learn how to fracture someone's sense of direction so they can't even trust their own thoughts, how to wear a crown of authority so heavy it crushes the room, how to break the rhythm of their voice until they collapse into yours. And finally, the last trick, the one I saved for the end, the one so disruptive, so unnerving, that once you see it, you'll never enter a conversation the same way again. Most people won't make it that far. Most will drop off before the finish. But if you do, if you can endure all 4, you'll walk out carrying a weapon no one else sees. So don't blink, don't skip, because the final trick isn't just the end of this video, it's the end of the old you. Every human operates on an invisible compass, the unconscious map that dictates their conversational flow, reactions, and decisions. It is built from routine, habits, biases, emotional anchors. Most live chained to it, moving predictably toward comfort and away from tension. That is their flaw. If you can read this compass, you can predict them. If you can break it, you can control them. The fractured compass is the deliberate destruction of orientation, first in yourself, then in others. Most people fear disorientation. It shatters their rhythm, accelerates their speech, and spikes their emotions. But the trained mind learns to associate confusion not with weakness, but with command. You stop seeking the map and you become the one who erases it. Begin with internal drills. Enter conversations with a topic in mind, then sever your own thread midstream. Pivot into unrelated terrain. Speak pause, then return with something detached. Your brain will resist, clawing for coherence. Ignore it. Repeat until the discomfort dissolves and unpredictability feels natural. Then apply externally. In debate, fracture the flow answer with paradox. Inject a sharp but unrelated fact. Redirect silence into weight. Your opponent will stumble, their compass spinning. They will try to re-stabilize. Do not let them. Remain steady, detached, unreadable. Advance this through escalating layers, casual talk arguments, negotiations, until disruption becomes instinct. Over time, anxiety and broken flow will invert into mastery. Pauses will sharpen your presence, contradictions will feel like leverage, disorientation will become weaponized. Others will waste energy trying to pin you down while you conserve precision. They will sense it, that you move without a compass they can read. To them, you are chaos. To yourself, you are direction sharpened into dominance. Every conversation has an invisible throne. Someone always wears the crown of authority. Most chase it with words, speed, or volume. Few realize the truth: the crown is not given, it is worn. The static crown is dominance through stillness. It rejects over-explaining, rejects the hunger for validation, and kills the impulse to scramble. Authority is not earned by chasing, but by anchoring. When you radiate calm stillness, steady breath, silent composure, immovable energy, others begin to orbit you. Static means untouchable. The paradox is simple yet brutal: the less you move, the more others bend. Crowns fall from the restless, but they fuse forever to those who can sit in silence without fear. Begin with restraint drills. Cut your responses down to essence: short, precise, no justifications. If pressed, resist the urge to explain. Let silence crush them. Train your body to stillness, shoulders aligned, breath steady, gaze unflinching. Do not fidget, every movement betrays uncertainty. In arguments, wear the crown by refusing escalation. If insulted, respond with one neutral line, then stop. Watch their words collapse under weight of your silence. Expand this into negotiations and high-pressure moments. Your only goal: radiate unshakable presence while others scramble to fill the void. The static crown reshapes persuasion. In business, silence will outshine speeches. In debates, your calm stillness makes opponents look frantic. In conflict, your composed silence becomes heavier than their rage. Psychological metrics shift, clarity sharpens, dominance anchors, and others unconsciously defer. They lean in, obey pauses, and crumble when they cannot shake you. Over time, the crown stops being a tactic. It becomes your identity. You don't perform authority, you exist as authority. Every person carries an inner anthem, a rhythm of words, tone, and predictable patterns that define their comfort zone. Some speak too fast when nervous, others over, explain when insecure, and many rely on filler words when desperate to be heard. This rhythm feels safe to them, like a shield. The Shattered Anthem is the art of breaking that rhythm mid-conversation. Once it shatters, their confidence collapses, their logic fragments, and they instinctively look to you for cues. Control does not come from overpowering their words. It comes from dismantling the rhythm that makes those words feel safe. Strike surgically. Interrupt mid-flow with short, abrupt commands. Hold. Wait. Stop there. No explanation. Just fracture momentum. Then introduce silence, forcing them to restart. Cut again at a different point, distorting their pattern further. Redirect with an unrelated question, forcing their brain off track. Finally, impose contrast, slow your speech, deliberate and steady until their broken rhythm syncs with yours. At that moment, you own the pace. The effect is collapse. Opponents appear scattered, fumbling to regain ground. Rivals lose composure as your interruptions paint them unprepared. Frustration rises, errors multiply, and while they unravel, you remain untouchable. Over time, they learn avoidance. Their subconscious remembers the discomfort of broken rhythm. You don't just speak. You conduct the anthem of every room, silencing theirs and replacing it with yours. Every conversation has a glowing trail, predictable statements, polite exchanges, rehearsed replies. People cling to this trail because it feels safe, because it shields them from exposure. The Ashen Path is the opposite. It is the art of dragging someone off the lit road and into burned, uncomfortable ground. On this path, their defenses do not protect them. Their contradictions smolder. Their silences grow heavy. Their fears come alive. The path is called because it forces them to step into what they've avoided, the ruins of their weak spots. Once they are there, you dictate the pace. They can retreat to comfort, but you block the exit. They can adapt, but only on terms you control. Either way, they are walking on your terrain, not theirs. The Ashen Path begins with quiet resistance. When they give a safe line, that's just how it is. You tilt your head and answer with surgical calms, as it. That single question burns the ground behind them. Then you hold silence. Let them wrestle with the pause. When they try to rebuild safety with more words, you reply with short fractures. Strange, unclear, uncertain. These cracks widen the discomfort. Next, you force dissonance. Mirror their contradictions back at them. But earlier, you said the opposite. Finally, anchor your body language in stillness. While they stumble through ashes, you remain composed, proving that discomfort is your natural climate. The effect is corrosive. In negotiations, they appear defensive, their polished masks slipping. In arguments, their contradictions expose themselves, while your replies slice with economy. In personal conflicts, their anger looks desperate against your cold silence. The shift is absolute. You project clarity. They drown in self-doubt. You walk steadily. They choke on ash. And long after the words are gone, the memory remains. The suffocating weight of being dragged off the safe road into burned ground. They will not forget who owns the fire. The fracture has been sealed, the crown fitted, the anthem rewritten, the path burned into your mind. You thought you came here for tricks, little tactics to bend conversations, to win a debate, to silence an opponent. But what you received was not a trick. It was an infection. Because now you can't unsee the mechanics. You can't unhear the silence. You can't unfeel the weight of your own words. Every interaction you enter from this point forward will carry a shadow of this code. A rhythm others don't recognize, but you'll never escape. This isn't about learning anymore. It's about carrying. Carrying the fracture, the static, the ash, the anthem, and the compass into every room until the rooms bend to you. You've crossed a threshold. On one side was noise, chaos, reaction. On this side is clarity, control, inevitability. And the truth is simple.